Before the lights even come up, before the judges say a single word, something electric hangs in the air, one of those moments where you feel like you're about to witness history without even knowing why. The camera sweeps across a packed theater, hearts racing, whispers buzzing, and then it stops on a small figure standing alone on the biggest stage in the world. If you've ever believed that dreams can be bigger than fear, stay with this story until the end, and if it moves you even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be shared. The boy's name is Mateo Cruz, a 12-year-old from a small town in the Philippines where power outages are common and dreams often have to fight for space with reality. He's thin, nervous, dressed in a simple black jacket that looks slightly too big for him, and his hands tremble as he grips the microphone. Back home, his family is watching on a tiny television powered by a neighbor's generator, praying the signal doesn't cut out. Mateo's father works long hours as a tricycle driver, his mother sells homemade snacks, and neither of them ever imagined their son would one day stand in front of Simon Cowell. But Mateo did imagine it over and over, while dancing barefoot on cracked concrete floors, copying moves he learned from old Michael Jackson videos downloaded late at night when the internet was cheaper. Music was Mateo's escape. When his schoolmates played outside, he practiced spins. When storms flooded the streets, he danced inside their one-room home, careful not to knock over the furniture. Kids laughed at him sometimes, calling him strange, telling him dancing wouldn't put food on the table. Even teachers gently suggested he focus on real careers. But every time Mateo heard Michael Jackson's music, it felt like someone understood him without speaking. It wasn't about copying an idol, it was about finding a voice when he didn't know how to speak his fears out loud. Now, under blinding stage lights, those fears come rushing back. Simon Cowell leans forward, curious but unreadable. The crowd is polite, uncertain. Mateo introduces himself softly, his accent thick, his voice shaking. When asked why he chose a Michael Jackson tribute, he pauses, swallows hard, and says that Michael taught him how to feel brave. The room grows quiet. That honesty lands heavier than any rehearsed answer ever could. The music starts. For a split second, Mateo freezes. Then his body moves, as if remembering something his mind almost forgot. The first step is clean. The second smoother. Then suddenly, the boy disappears, and something extraordinary takes his place. His feet glide across the stage with a precision no one expects from someone so young. His shoulders snap, his spins are sharp, and the crowd begins to stir. Whispers turn into gasps. Phones come out. The judges exchange looks. This isn't just imitation, it's interpretation. Mateo's face tells a story while he dances. You can see the years of practicing alone, the nights of doubt, the hope that maybe, just maybe, this moment could change everything. When he hits the moonwalk, the audience erupts. Not because it's flashy, but because it's honest. It's earned. Simon Cowell, famous for his restraint, raises his eyebrows. He doesn't smile yet, but he's hooked. Halfway through the performance, Mateo stumbles. Just a small slip, barely noticeable, but enough to break the illusion for a heartbeat. His eyes widen. For one terrifying second, it feels like everything might fall apart. But then he recovers, turns the mistake into a move, and keeps going. That recovery becomes the most powerful part of the performance, because it mirrors his life, falling, standing up, moving forward anyway. By the final beat, the entire theater is on its feet. The applause is thunderous, emotional, almost overwhelming. Mateo stands frozen, chest heaving, eyes glossy with disbelief. He bows deeply, not like a star, but like a child grateful to be seen. The judges rise too. One of them wipes away tears. Another shakes their head in shock. Then Simon Cowell steps forward, microphone in hand. He doesn't rush his words. He talks about how he's seen thousands of acts, how technical skill matters, but heart matters more. He says what everyone is thinking, that Mateo didn't just dance like Michael Jackson, he reminded them why they fell in love with performance in the first place. Mateo listens, barely breathing. His parents at home are crying openly now, neighbors gathered around them, strangers united by a single screen. Then Simon pauses. The theater holds its breath. Simon asks Mateo what he wants more than anything. Mateo answers honestly, He wants to help his family and show kids like him that dreams are real. Simon nods slowly, walks back to the judge's table, and without another word, slams his hand on the golden buzzer. The explosion of gold confetti feels unreal. Mateo collapses to his knees, overwhelmed, shaking, laughing and crying all at once. The crowd roars louder than ever. The judges rush the stage. In that moment, the boy who once danced alone in the dark is bathed in light, surrounded by belief. Back in the Philippines, his family screams, hugging each other as if afraid the moment might vanish if they let go. But the real magic doesn't end with the buzzer. It lives in what comes after. In the letters Mateo receives from kids who feel different. In the pride on his father's face. In the quiet confidence Mateo carries now, knowing that even if the road ahead is still hard, he no longer walks it alone. He didn't just win a moment, he opened a door. This story isn't just about talent or fame. It's about resilience. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does, and about that one moment when someone finally says, "I see you." If this story inspired you, if it made you feel something real, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Because somewhere right now, another kid is dancing in the dark, waiting for their light, and stories like this remind them not to stop. Before the first note is played, before the judges even look up from their desks, there is a feeling in the room that something important is about to happen. It's the kind of feeling you can't explain but you don't want to miss. The audience settles into silence, the lights dim slightly, and a small boy walks onto the stage carrying a dream that feels far heavier than his own body. This is one of those moments you'll remember long after the video ends, so watch closely, stay till the end, and if this story touches your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this are the reason dreams stay alive. His name is Mateo Cruz, a 12-year-old boy from the Philippines, a country full of music, rhythm, and resilience. Mateo comes from a quiet coastal town where mornings begin with the sound of motorbikes, roosters, and the distant waves crashing against the shore. Life there isn't easy. His father drives a tricycle for long hours under the burning sun, earning just enough to keep food on the table. His mother prepares small snacks to sell to neighbors, waking up before dawn every day. Their home is simple: one room, thin walls, and a roof that rattles loudly during storms, but it is filled with love, sacrifice, and hope. Mateo was different from other kids from the start. While his classmates loved playing basketball or running through the streets, Mateo was drawn to music. He would stop whatever he was doing when a song came on, his body moving naturally, as if rhythm lived inside him. When he was 6 years old, he first saw a Michael Jackson performance on an old phone his cousin owned. The screen was cracked, the video blurry, but the magic was clear. Mateo watched in silence, eyes wide, heart pounding. Something inside him shifted forever. He didn't just see a singer or a dancer, he saw freedom. From that day on, Michael Jackson became Mateo's teacher. With no dance studio, no mirrors, and no formal training, Mateo learned by copying shadows, reflections in puddles, and his own silhouette on the wall. He practiced late at night when his parents were asleep, turning the volume low so the neighbors wouldn't complain. He danced barefoot on rough floors until his feet hurt, spun until he felt dizzy, and repeated moves again and again until his body remembered them without thinking. But dreams are rarely supported when money is tight. Some people laughed at Mateo. Others told his parents he was wasting time. Teachers advised him to focus on real subjects that could lead to a stable job. Even friends sometimes mocked him, mimicking his moves in a cruel way. Mateo smiled through it all, but inside, doubt slowly grew. There were nights when he asked himself if everyone else was right. Nights when he considered quitting. But every time he thought about stopping, he remembered how dancing made him feel alive, brave, understood. When the opportunity to audition for a global talent show appeared, it felt impossible. The process was complicated, the travel expensive, and the chances slim. But Mateo's parents made a decision that would change everything. They borrowed money, sold personal belongings, and put their faith in their son. Not because they were sure he would win, but because they believed he deserved a chance. When Mateo hugged them goodbye before leaving for the audition, he promised he would give everything he had. Now, standing on the stage, that promise echoes in his mind. The lights are brighter than anything he has ever seen. the audience is huge, stretching far beyond his vision. And there, sitting just meters away, is Simon Cowell, the man whose opinion can change lives in seconds. Mateo feels his heart pounding in his chest so loudly he's afraid the microphone might pick it up. His hands shake. His mouth goes dry. He introduces himself softly. His voice cracks when he speaks about his family and where he comes from. When asked why he chose a Michael Jackson tribute, Mateo pauses, taking a deep breath. He says that Michael Jackson helped him believe he could be something more than his circumstances. That through music and dance, he learned not to be afraid. The room goes quiet. Even Simon listens carefully now. Then the music starts. The opening beat fills the theater, and for a brief moment, Mateo freezes. Fear rushes in like a wave. His mind screams, "What if you fail?" But then his body moves, almost on its own. The first step lands perfectly. The second flows naturally. His nerves fade, replaced by focus and emotion. Mateo is no longer just a boy on a stage, he is telling his story through movement. Every spin carries years of practice. Every slide across the floor reflects nights of loneliness and determination. The audience leans forward, surprised by the control and confidence coming from someone so young. Judges exchange looks. Smiles begin to form. When Mateo hits a signature Michael Jackson move, the crowd erupts in cheers, not because it's familiar, but because it's genuine. Halfway through the performance, something goes wrong. Mateo's foot slips slightly. It's small, but to him, it feels huge. Panic flashes across his face. For a split second, it seems like everything might collapse. But then he remembers his father's tired smile, his mother's sacrifices, and every time he was told he wasn't enough. He adjusts, turns the mistake into part of the choreography, and continues with even more passion. The audience feels it. This isn't perfection, it's courage. As the music builds toward the final moments, Mateo gives everything he has left. His movements become sharper, more emotional. You can see the story in his eyes, the fear, the hope, the fight. When the last note hits, he drops into his final pose, chest heaving, eyes shining with tears. For a second, there is silence. Then the theater explodes. The audience leaps to their feet, clapping, shouting, cheering with pure excitement. Mateo looks up, stunned, as if he's not sure this is real. The judges stand too. One of them covers their mouth in disbelief. Another wipes away tears. And Simon Cowell, known for his tough critiques and calm reactions, stands slowly, his expression serious but impressed. Simon speaks carefully. He talks about how he has seen countless Michael Jackson tributes over the years, many of them technically strong, but few that carry real heart. He tells Mateo that what he just witnessed was not imitation, but emotion. Not copying, but storytelling. Mateo listens, barely able to breathe. Simon then asks Mateo about his dreams. Mateo answers honestly. He wants to help his family. He wants to prove that kids from small places can have big dreams. He wants other children like him to believe in themselves. His voice shakes, but his words are strong. Simon pauses. The room holds its breath. Then, without warning, Simon slams the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rains down from above, covering the stage in shimmering light. Mateo drops to his knees, overwhelmed by emotion. He cries openly now, hands covering his face, shoulders shaking. The audience roars louder than ever. The judges rush toward him, hugging him, congratulating him. In that moment, the boy who once danced alone in the dark is surrounded by belief, love, and endless possibility. Back in the Philippines, Mateo's family watches in disbelief. His mother cries uncontrollably. His father holds his head in his hands, tears streaming down his face. Neighbors gather, cheering as if they've all won together. It's not just Mateo's victory, it's theirs. But this story doesn't end with the golden buzzer. Because the Real win is what Mateo represents. He represents every child who has been told their dream is unrealistic. Every family that sacrifices quietly. Every moment of doubt that didn't win. Mateo's journey reminds us that talent matters, but perseverance matters more. That courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. As Mateo walks off the stage, still shaking, he looks back once more, taking it all in. He knows the road ahead will still be hard. Fame doesn't erase struggle overnight. But now, he walks with confidence, knowing his voice has been heard. If this story inspired you, if it made you feel hope, determination, or even a few tears, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that dreams are possible. Because somewhere out there, another 12-year-old is practicing in silence, waiting for their moment. And this story is proof that when preparation meets opportunity, miracles can happen.